Steph, what do you make of the first 3 performances from this team here to start the year?
Yeah, some good things and some not so good things. But yeah, I mean, we still have to gel. I think we still have to figure out how to integrate some new things, some new ways that we want to play, some new weapons that we've attained in the offseason. But I like the work rate, I like the hustle, I like all of that. So typically, how you would kind of imagine the beginning of a season to unfold. So.
You mentioned the new weapons, Albert Rusnak. What have you seen from him out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's technically he's very good. He's a smart player. He's a patient player. He knows how to find the pockets, and then, like I said, his technique is good enough or very good, so he can really take advantage of finding himself in those positions. And he has a cannon as well, so it's yet another lethal weapon that maybe can shoot, some volleys or shoot from distance. So those are also some things that we'll see at some point, I think. I've been on the other end of it for a few years, so I know what he's capable of.
Steph, when we talk about chemistry, a lot of us in the media talk about the offensive side and scoring goals and stuff, but how much of that goes to what you see on defense? And there's not too many changes on the defensive side, but what are you seeing in that respect, in terms of chemistry defensively?
Well, for one, for us to be defensively successful, it's a whole team effort. We've always said that it really starts with possession on offense starts with me in the back as a goalkeeper, but defense starts with the strikers up top, making it a bit more predictable in terms of what are the options for the opponent. So I think we've in the past have found pride in defending as a unit, and we really need to do so again to be able to be successful. So yeah, we in the back we don't have too many, in terms of turnover, but we're trying to figure out what's the best formation as well for us with the talent that we have on the squad to maximize what we have. So there is a little bit of change. The game's ever evolving as well, so it's not like there's one way of playing, and you figured it out now, and that you'll stick with that for the rest of the year. So. Like I said, I think I'm happy with seeing where we're at and how we're trying to figure these things out, because I know that we have the quality to figure it out and put in a really good year, defensively and offensively.
Coach mentioned the goal kicks yesterday, I think, that you guys might have been working on, and also tempo. So is that just a mindset thing, or is it something you're working on now to get the ball out quicker and get it upfield, or?
All right, so yeah, I mean that's it's an ongoing discussion that we've had for the past 3-4 years. It's a fine line. You want to create tempo, but you want to do it in a smart way. You're 5 yards away from goal, so the risks you're taking, they have to be calculated. So we're aware of that. I think we've gotten more comfortable. We realize. We have a lot of options on the field, and we're trying to put these options in the right places so that we can kind of see how the opponent stacks up and find those overloads, find the man maybe that is, if there is no overload, is one-on-one, and we really fancy our chances to go after that one-on-one, and it's worth the risk. So it's a matter of really trying to create that checklist on a goal kick and going down that checklist to see where that is, that overload or that advantage, and going after it.
What has been so tricky about getting a win in RSL?
I mean, it's altitude. I think they've always fancied themselves at home. They've always come up very aggressive. They have a good mindset at home. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, I remember a few years back when I think they were undefeated at home for 2+ years even. So I think maybe that mentality has trickled down even if they've lost some players here and there. It's not the conditions are not easy. I think as a goalkeeper speaking, the ball moves faster. I can boot it maybe a little bit further, but the shots come a little bit faster too. Sometimes they have a mind that the balls have the mind of their own when they're flying in that altitude as well. So just different conditions, but they're also a good side. I think they have decent players. Kralak's one of the better players in this league, I think. They have good wing backs who like to go forward, like to cross the ball a lot, with some big targets up top. And again, when that ball is in that air, in altitude, it can be challenging for teams that don't get to see it that often. Maybe that is a contributing factor.
Obviously, Albert can't help with altitude, but is there any nuances, on the field this side that he can help with as far as having a run?
If he has any inside information, I hope he's sharing that with our coaching staff as we speak. But when we've scouted these teams, we have Freddie as well, obviously, who should know that squad inside out. So, but what it comes down to, I think, more is us knowing what they bring, but really focusing on ourselves and making sure that we can perform and show up and bring to the table what we want to do this weekend against RSL.
How different is the way you guys play in a 4-2-3-1 versus a 3-5-2?
Well, it changes for one, I think it changes the requirements or the expectations of the outside backs. I think also defensively speaking, when you have 5 guys, you can bomb forward a little bit more liberally because you know that you have guys sliding over and we still have 4 in the back. If you change to 4 in the back, then now we have to be a bit more careful. And I think all those little details of sliding over and covering become even more important because there's less room for error. Seeing how Nashville played against us, they made the field very compact, very tight, and that makes it difficult. So if you have consistently 4 in the back, even with one guy bombing forward, then chances are those spaces are tighter, and those gaps are not as wide for skillful players to slip balls in. So I think that's the biggest thing I see for myself. But we ask a lot of our outside backs, whether we play in 4 or in 5. I think we value what they bring offensively, even if you play with 4. So we ask them to go forward. So it puts a lot of mileage on them, and something that we have to maybe, especially if we play only with 4, that we have to be a bit more pick and choose when we do that to make sure that we're still sound defensively.
What have you made so far Obed Vargas' time so far?
Yeah, very promising. I like the confidence he brings. As a young guy to take on players, to find himself in pockets and be confident enough to cushion a ball with a guy on his back and then turn and then find the other side of the triangle is great. Those are usually all moments where a guy who's is nervous and is young and inexperienced tends to just find the easy way out, which means if he's checking towards the ball, maybe playing it right back where he came from. So I've seen a lot of instances where he doesn't do that, and so that's really good. Most importantly for me, always with young guys, I think is what they have up here and their mentality. How do they approach every day? Because clearly he's talented. We all see that. But I think if he has it up here, which I think he does, then he's willing to put in the work, then he can go far.